Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys checking today's video out and spending some of your day with me. And guys, got a good video for y'all today. We're going to be talking about the new winged Super Fluke here. Guys, this thing is just pretty new to the market. This thing is unbelievable looking in the water, and there's going to be a lot of different ways you can fish this winged Super Fluke. But in today's video, I want to talk about how to fish it in the month of April and May for shallower fish. So it's a really neat process. I've been experimenting with this thing for a while, and I figured out the best way to rig it to get the best action. So we're going to give tips and advice on how to rig it, talk a little bit about the type of conditions it works good in today's episode. Also, guys, before we get started, just two quick housekeeping tips. Just want to remind everybody to please swing by and check out my Fish the Moment lake map breakdowns. We got the maps up for all 4 seasons of the year. Great resources to learn more about your favorite lake. These are maps I built. It's taken me 5 years, guys, to build these maps for Fish the Moment. And like I said, I'll put the link in the description there if you guys would like to order a map of your favorite lake. And also, guys, anybody interested in booking an on-the-water lesson with me, all you got to do is go to my Facebook page, just Randy Blockett Professional Angler. Shoot me a private message for information there, so really appreciate that. Okay, guys, here it is, man. This is the winged Super Fluke. The difference here's the difference between the two. Here's just the regular Super Fluke that everybody uses, and here's the wing model, which is quite a bit bigger. And the main difference on it is you can see the wing right here. Now, this wing creates an incredible darting action. It sort of acts like a keel. The thing just goes freaking crazy in the water if you rig it right. You got to rig it right. And there's a couple different ways to do it. You can rig it with an EWG hook or a straight shank hook, but the way that I'm going to show you guys today is with this new Core Tackle Tush rig. It's got a little bit of a weight on right on the shank here, adds a little bit of extra weight to it. It's got a nice, super stiff 2/0 hook on it. And the way that I'm going to rig it here, guys, it literally comes alive in the water. You got to rig it just right, though. If you do not rig this thing right, it'll blow out, it'll pop out of the water, and it'll dart to one side instead of going back and forth. So I'm going to show you how to rig it with that. Now, first of all, before I get into this, I don't have it set up like this, but one of the things that's going to help you on this a lot is the way you set up this tush rig with your line setup. Now, what you really need to do is get a barrel swivel and tie a barrel swivel about 1 foot above your tush rig there. Now, this barrel swivel is going to keep this bait from twisting, because this thing will twist a lot. It'll helicopter in the air, and when you're jerking it, it's twisting around. So you really need that little barrel swivel about 1 foot above. And also, guys, I'll link the tush rig and the winged fluke rig in my tackle warehouse link in the description. If you guys would like to use my affiliate link there, you can get everything and help the channel out at the same time. Okay, guys, now here's what you do with it. What you want, and this is sort of something I figured out on my own. This is nothing you've seen or read about anywhere. What you want to do is take the tush rig and you're going to come through the underneath side where the slit is here. So come through and very slowly come through the top, you're going to be coming out the bottom, but you got to get the thing just in there, just completely straight, where it comes right out the middle there. You're going to put it back in like this. And then what you want to do is you want to leave a little bit of bend. See how there's a little bit of bend right there? This bend right here is critical to get the bait to dart side to side and dart down. Because if you rig it straight, say for example, if I pull it up like this and I got the bait, perfectly straight hanging like that, the bait is going to tend to blow out of the water on the surface. So when you rig it in there, make sure that you got a little bit of a crook right in there like that. And that's going to really give you a lot of really good action with it. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do, take a spike it marking pin. I'll link this in my tackle warehouse description too. And I like to put some accent chartreuse on this thing, on the shad pattern here. They have a lot of different colors, guys. They got some, variations, but take this chartreuse marker, and I'm going to come right down the center of it, of the bait. I'm just sort of going to make a line that goes right down the center. And then I'm going to put a little bit of a puff on the tail here, the little chartreuse for, just a little attractant. Go to both sides of it here. And this is just something I've sort of figured out on my own that works pretty good. And that's the rig up you got right there. See that little chartreuse. It just gives a little bit of color and those fish can pick up on it. But guys, this right here, you talk about when those fish are feeding like on bigger gizzard shad and threadfin shad, which they do a lot in April and May because the bass have not, or the shad have not spawned since last year. So the shad this time of year are a lot bigger. Therefore, this larger wing fluke is super appealing to the fish right there. But that's how you rig it up, just like that with the tush rig. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about where you want to fish it at and why it's so effective this time of year. Now, in April and May, this is the time of year that you've got more quality bass shallow than any other time of the year. This is, you've got a bigger population of the bass in the lake that are up in less than 5 foot of water. Instead of out, roaming around in the middle of the lake like they do most of the time of year or deeper around structure, they are up shallow and they are in a lot of different phases. Some of them are spawning, some of them are pre-spawn, some of them are post-spawn. We're talking about the mid-April to the mid-May time frame. So that's the first thing to remember. Secondly is what you want to look for in the best conditions for this. Now, this thing is going to work in a wide range of conditions depending upon the color, but the success I've had on it is going to be pretty focused to what I'm getting ready to describe here. You need to have water visibility of greater than 3 feet. Ideally, I like my water visibility to be about 3 to 5 foot of clarity. That's the main thing with it. Second thing with it, it helps if you have some type of a lower light day, like 75% overcast, 75% cloud cover, or cloudy or rainy with just a little bit of a breeze and just some type of a typical temperature. You don't want any type of a cold front coming through because the bass will not bite this thing once a cold front comes through very good. So you need a south wind or a southwest wind, some low light conditions, water visibility of 3 to 5 foot. If you have that scenario and you've got water temperatures in correlation with that between 60 and 70 degrees, you got a perfect situation for that wing fluke. Okay, now the wing fluke, this thing it's a fairly heavy bait. The thing probably weighs, I'm gonna say ½ ounce to 3/4 of an ounce by the time you get everything on there. So I'm throwing it on like a 7 foot 2 inch medium heavy bait caster rod. I use that Megabass Perfect Pitch, usually with 15 to 20 pound test Seaguar Vizex line. And I'm covering water just in those type of areas where those fish are getting ready to move up to bed. And you're not fishing for bedding fish, but you're just fishing for those fish that have started to move up. Now, once you get in that particular area, there's a couple different ways that you want to work this thing, based upon the mood and the aggressiveness of the fish. The cleaner the water is and the warmer the water is, the faster you need to work it. So let's say, for example, you're out there and it's the mid part of May and the water temperature's in the low 70s. In a situation like that, I'll cast it. What the heck's going on here? I'll cast it out like that. Like just wherever my target is, and I'm just working it boom, 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 almost like a fast jerk bait. You're not really letting it stop. You're wanting to keep that bait moving in that clear or warmer water because you don't want it to get a really good look at it. So cast it out there, rod tip low, boom, 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 boom. And it's just going to be darting through the water just like that. Now, earlier in the spring, let's say like this time of year, mid-April or something like that, on the other end of the spectrum, if you have a little bit more color to the water, say the water temperature is closer to 60 and you've got a little bit more stained, say that water visibility is down around 3 feet, you want to slow it down a little bit. So you'll throw it out there around your target and just go boom, boom, boom. Pause a second, boom, boom, boom. Pause a second, boom, boom, boom. So let the water temperature and the water clarity dictate the speed of retrieve that you use on this thing. Now, in terms of how deep you want to fish it and how far you want to let it set, it depends again on the clarity and the type of structure that you're fishing. If you're fishing those flatter type areas, like those type of areas that the fish are getting ready to bed in, you want to keep your rod tip just a little bit higher and you want to keep it just barely under the water. Just try to keep it a couple inches under the water. But if you're fishing out more, say out off the point, say early post spawn where the fish are done spawning, they're starting to move out to those points, cast it out there and fan cast around the point a little bit, count it down maybe 2 or 3 seconds and try to work it down 4 to 5 feet underneath the water, especially if that water is like 10 to 20 foot deep. You're still fishing for suspended fish, but you're getting it down a little bit deeper. But anyway, guys, this is the setup that you want to try right here, man. Get you one of those Tush rigs. You know, just get you a selection of different colors. Like I said, I'll link everything in my Tackle Warehouse link. And this is also going to be a really good summertime lure when those fish get on hard structure. When those fish start moving out to those ledges and points like in June and July, you're going to be able to fish, you know, the same wing fluke out there with a couple different setups with some type of a swim bait head on it. But I'll do a video on that a little bit later. But the main thing, guys, is the size of this thing, the aggressiveness of the bait and the size of it in a comparison to the regular fluke here. It's just going to get you a bigger bite. I mean, you're not going to get as many bites on this big wing fluke as you will the little one, but you're going to get more quality fish on it. And it's super fun bait to fish, guys, because when they clobber it, this is the difference between the wing fluke and the little fluke like this. For whatever reason, you get a lot of followers on the little fluke. They look at it and they'll bite it by the tail or something. But that big one right there, when you got that thing darting sideways like that, not only it's going to attract a little bit bigger fish, but when they hit it, they tend to try to kill it because it's a bigger bait. They got to be more aggressive on it. And they always usually hit this thing, from my experience so far, they hit it on the head. And that's why I got this Tush rig head rigged right up on the head of the bait here. So anyway, guys, give it a try. Like I said, another bait to add to your arsenal if you don't already have enough. And hope it helps you guys catch some, and we'll talk later.